Are you a woman who is wanting to maybe make a career change? Maybe you want to follow a passion, but you're really not sure if you are going to be successful. Maybe you want to start your own business or just be a successful woman in a male-dominated field. This is a video for you. I'm going to be sharing with you some tips of success from women who have broken the glass ceiling, who have succeeded in their careers, who have paved their own path and have reached a level of success. And I'm going to share with you what I've learned and how you can reach that same success. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kirsten and I am a freelance writer / journalist as well as a coach. And in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my experiences interviewing over 30 plus women in various careers and various paths, from influencers to CEOs to women that work in tech to entrepreneurs. I have interviewed a wide variety of women and I have learned a lot of valuable lessons within that process. So I have interviewed women from different companies, different backgrounds, interviewed them, and then written articles and blog posts about them. And if you're interested in reading more about the women that I have interviewed, and I've interviewed women from all across the world, from the United States to Brazil to Canada, and if you want to read a little bit more specifically on their journeys and their stories, I will link some of the articles that I've written below in the description. But this video is really kind of all-encompassing and taking the key points that I have learned from these women and sharing them with you in hopes that it will help you on your journey to success. One more thing before we get into the details of everything. If you're enjoying this video or if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. My channel is all about helping people. My channel is all about helping people think differently about themselves so that they can live a more expansive and authentic life and do the things that really bring them joy and value. So if you like this content and you want more type of this content, then click the subscribe button. Also, if you want more stories of inspiration, if you like reading, if you like getting inspirational messages in your email and you want practical coaching advice on how to think differently, how to live more authentically, then I suggest that you sign up for my email list, and I will link the sign up in this description below. Without further ado, let's talk about tip number 1 that I have learned from successful women on how to earn success in your life. So I had worked for a company called Power to Fly, and what I did as a copywriter and a content writer is I would interview different women in different career paths, and I got to talk to engineers, I got to talk to CEOs, I got to talk to a lot of women in tech, and some also to working within nonprofits. And one thing that was kind of the common thread or the common thing was that your career path is not linear. A lot of people think that, because you studied one field in college, that you have to stick to that career and see it all the way through. However, especially with technology and education being so much more accessible than it was, obviously there's still a lot of limitations to education, but now for most people, if you have an internet connection, if you have a stable computer, you can get access to a lot more knowledge than you could before. And with that, I have seen so many women, people that started off working in retail and are now engineers. I have seen women who were just, regular saleswomen and now working in the medical field. And so really, if you kind of feeling like stuck in the career that you are in right now and you were wanting to change, but maybe you're kind of feeling intimidated about stepping into a brand new field. It is okay. It has been done before, and there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I think it's really brave and something that I really admired, and something that I've experienced in my own life, because I went from teaching preschool to moving abroad to teaching English, and then now I am a freelance writer and a coach. And so that's the wonderful thing about, I think, living this life. And society can kind of trick us into thinking that you have to stay in one little box, especially when it comes to your career. However, a career path is not meant to be a straight line. It is meant to take you all over the place. And if you allow it to, if you take the steps outside of the norm, then you can end up with a career that you really love. And that was another thing I learned from a lot of the women that I spoke to, is that every single one of them absolutely loved the work that they do. And I think that's something that's so special and sometimes so rare in today's society. And that second thing that I've learned from talking to these amazing women is to take calculated risk. I remember, and this one really is kind of seared in my brain from talking to a woman who started off as a CEO in a company and was doing really well, was very successful, and then decided after a trip to, I think it was either Costa Rica or Nicaragua, I can't remember, some Central American country, can't remember right now, she decided to leave her corporate job and live on the beach, surf, and then she started a nonprofit. And it was a complete 180, and oftentimes it can feel really scary. I can only imagine having, the secure job that pays you well and leaving it for a completely different lifestyle can be scary and intimidating. But one thing that she made sure that she did before she made this transition was to make sure that she was financially secure. She calculated the numbers, and so it was a risk to leave her job to start this new way of life, but she was practical about it. And so I think that when we think about taking risk and we start to feel fearful and we maybe are hesitant to take those risks, it is okay to look at the numbers. It is okay to kind of map out, like, okay, if I take this risk, what is my plan B? What's going to happen? And really think about, if I take this risk, what do I need to do to succeed? The third thing that I learned from these amazing women is the power of mentorship. Mentorship is something that I think is crucial, especially in today's world. Having someone who has been in the position of power or privilege that you want, and helping them to guide you, to give information, to lead you in the right path is something that is invaluable. And I know that especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're stepping into a brand new field, it's going to be confusing. There's going to be a huge learning gap, especially if you're starting something completely new and you're in a different field. So having a mentor is really important. So reaching out to someone that you know, someone in your company, and it doesn't always have to be someone in your same field. It can be someone that simply you admire, and asking them to mentor you, to take time, maybe once a month, to sit down and you pick their brain. They give you advice on what they have learned. It can be invaluable. And if you're not able to have a physical person to meet with or to mentor, maybe you have like what I've called a virtual mentor. So maybe it's just finding someone online that you don't know. It could be Oprah or someone, and just really studying them, reading everything they've written, watching interviews or reading interviews that have been done about them, just getting your hands and your eyes and your ears on any piece of information about them, because sometimes just studying someone's life story and just following their journey can help you, inspire you, and in a way mentor you on your path to success. The fourth thing that I want to share is probably the most important thing, and it is to be true to yourself. Whether you are trying to move up in the corporate world, whether you come from a family that maybe has different expectations of you, somewhere in some point of your life, most likely you're going to receive some type of pressure to be someone else or to fulfill someone else's expectation. And as painful as it might be to say no to certain people or to maybe even say no to certain opportunities, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to stay true to yourself. Because along the line, if you're not following the path that is most authentic to you, if you're not doing the things that feel good to you, feel right to you, you're going to get to a point where you might have the success, you might have the admiration, but you're not going to feel good about yourself. And even though other people are going to share their opinions with you, they're going to tell you what to do. Even I in a sense am telling you what to do in a sense, but if you have to live with yourself every day. You have to wake up every morning. People don't know, people that are often giving advice, it can come from a good place. It usually comes from a place of just wanting you to be successful, wanting you to be happy, but they don't know what's going on in your mind every day. They don't know the thoughts that you think. They don't know the hopes and dreams that you have. So really and truly, one of the biggest things that I've noticed that has helped these women that I've interviewed be successful is that they ultimately did what felt right for them. They stayed true to themselves. They knew who they were. They had a strong foundation of who they are, who they are, and they grew from there. They did what felt most right and what felt most authentic to them. So I hope if you reached the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed that information, and I hope you take at least one of those 4 tips or advices and apply them to your life. I know that changing and kind of stepping out of the norm or stepping into a new path can be scary, but ultimately it's rewarding. And to sound a little bit cheesy, we only have one life to live. And I don't think, from most people that I know, people usually don't regret taking a chance. So if you reached the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope that at least one of those 4 tips was helpful for you. And if something really resonated with you, or if you're going to put one of these tips into action, then comment below what you're going to focus on to help you reach the level of success and help you reach your hopes and dreams. Lastly, I do want to say I absolutely love interviewing women and talking to women and getting to know them and sharing their stories with the world, because I know that at a very young age I was always inspired by hearing stories of other women, especially women that look like me, and I think that storytelling is one of the most powerful tools that we can use. We need to hear other people's stories. We need to share other people's stories. So with that being said, I am always open to collaborating with other publications, media outlets, brands. If you need someone to help interview people on your team and help tell their story, I am available to support you in that journey. I am also open to collaborating with people, and when it comes to interviewing for the publications that I am currently writing for, I currently write for Black Girl Nerds and Boss Magazine, and we're often looking for other women to interview and to feature on our publication so that we can inspire our readers and people worldwide. With that being said, ciao for now.